Hi, you're watching Floyd Steinberg's YouTube channel. The search for the ideal mobile music maker continues, and today we'll take a look at the Wee Noisemakers PGB-1. This is a credit card-sized Groovebox that features a lot of synth engines, sample playback, a sequencer that lets you create whole songs, and it also can be used as a MIDI controller for external synthesizers. And here's the usual disclaimer for this video: I was sent a free review unit for the PGB-1. Apart from that, no money changed hands. And if you think that's interesting, please join me in the next minutes. Here we go. The PGB-1 is a complex groovebox that can do a lot of things, and the purpose of this video is to give you a good overview what's possible here and how this sounds. So I'm going to create a simple track and explain what I'm doing step by step. And if you want to know more, please post your questions in the comments section. I'm sure that Fabienne, the developer of the device, will chime in from time to time as well. On the PGB-1, you create songs that are made up from patterns that are made up from up to 16 tracks. Like on an arranger keyboard, creating the pattern focuses on the rhythm, while you can create chord progressions later. A pattern is divided into 16 steps. Each step can carry one note or chord and a number of control commands. The hardware itself is the size of a credit card, but ever so slightly thicker. On top, you'll find a touch strip, buttons used for the step sequencer, cursor and select buttons that work just like the controls on a game console, and mode selector buttons for song and track mode. There's a play and record button and a menu and copy and paste button. On the back, there are TRS MIDI jacks, audio in and out, and a USB Type-C port for charging. I'll start by creating a new song. Press the menu button, then press A to select the Projects tab, then use the cursor keys to select the New option, then press A again and confirm. You can hold the play button to set up the tempo and volume of the song. The 16 tracks have assigned roles. The first 8 tracks can use the internal synth engine, samples and MIDI, and there are 3 effect tracks and 5 additional MIDI tracks. Track 1 is for the bass drum. Press the track button and then 1. On the screen you can select one of 6 synth engines, and you can listen to a preview when you press 1 again. Using the arrow keys, you can navigate the options of the chosen synth engine, which differ from one engine to another. We'll take a look at that in a minute. For now, let's create a simple bass drum pattern with the triangle kick synth. Press the record button and then place the kick drum on any of the 16 steps. Press play to listen to your magnificent creation. I can now adjust the sound of the kick drum a bit. The triangle engine I've chosen here lets us adjust various parameters like punch, decay, drive. You can use the touch strip to adjust these values quickly, or the cursor keys for more precise adjustments. All synths have an LFO page. LFO can have one destination here. You can also adjust volume, panning, effects send to overdrive, bit crusher or reverb, the octave, shuffle, arpeggiator, chord control, and the track mode, which can be changed from the internal synth to MIDI. Let's spice this bass drum pattern up a bit. press the step button and you should see the notes you've entered. I want the second bass drum hit to have a probability of 25%, have a slightly different pitch, and to have a stutter effect by repeating it. I can also adjust synth parameters per step here. I'll now add a snare and a hi-hat track in much the same way. Press the track button, choose track 2, add some notes, set up the pattern, press track 3, and do the same thing with the hi-hat. And here's the result. The next track is the bass track. This gives us 33 engines to choose from, ranging from classic analog synthesizers to modeling and FM synths. One of the engines is the custom shape engine. You can create your own oscillator shape by drawing it in the menu section here. Just use the left and right arrow keys to move the cursor, and then use the touch strip to draw up and down. Using the step editor, we can once again set conditions, probabilities, and synth engine parameters per step. We'll skip the lead track for now and add some chords. This has 3 synth engines to choose from. Right, let's quickly take a look at sampling. You can upload samples to this device with web app, but you can also capture your own samples using the built-in microphone or the audio input jacks. I'll use the microphone here. We can turn that on in the menu, then press Effects and then Record, select Microphone, press again and record a sample. Once done, you can then trim the sample, which has a maximum length of 2 seconds, using the arrow keys. You can now create a sequence with this sample in just the same way as with the synth engines. Now let's extend this short pattern into something more meaningful by adding a chord progression. For this, let's go into song mode. Press song and then press one of the last 4 track keys, 13, 14, 15 or 16, which can store chord progressions. On this screen, you can select a chord and add more chords to the progression. Here's a very simple but cheerful progression of C major, A minor, F major and G major. Next, I want to add some more variation to this piece. This can be achieved in pattern mode. Here, every sequencer button represents a pattern that you can edit. For example, I want to add a new bass drum pattern. For this, I press the track button, select bass drum, then press the pattern button, then select pattern 2. Now I can edit that pattern by pressing step and record. When you now play back the sequence, you won't hear your changes yet. For that, go back to the song screen. See those tiny numbers there? They represent which pattern is currently used for playback. Change the bass drum pattern to 2 and you'll hear your new pattern. Pressing a number key on the song screen will change to the next free slot of pattern arrangements. This means you have 16 slots free for individual combinations of 16 patterns per voice. This should be enough to create a song of a complex structure. You can also arrange patterns in a specified order on the pattern screen. Here, the number keys will select the pattern you're working on. By using the symbol in the bottom middle of the screen, you can arrange the patterns to play one after the other. Last thing I want to show you are live effects. For these, hold down the copy effects button and press one of the buttons 1 to 16 for various stutter, filter and other effects. There's a lot more to the PGB-1, but I think this overview should have given you an idea what to expect here. Conclusion. The PGB-1 is a powerful sequencer and groovebox that is being actively supported by its developer Fabienne. At roughly $300, I think it's priced reasonably. This is a very capable mini sequencer for your desktop synth setup or to quickly capture song ideas you had on the move. And despite its minuscule size, it's very easy to learn. Battery will last for a couple of hours, which should be enough to make that daily commute a bit more fun. If I could make a wish on what to improve here, I'd say the labels need a bit more contrast. They're very hard to read when not illuminated. Perhaps using a white PCB with black color for the labels instead of green and gold would help here. Also, I'd wish for more fine control over the synth engines. It's nice to be able to lock in the parameters per sequencer step, and being able to have even more control is something I'm looking forward to in future firmware updates. And that's it for today. The Wee Noisemakers PGB-1 Groovebox. Price for this is between 300 and 350 euros, and you can buy this from the maker's webpage. As usual, this Groovebox has its own set of strengths and limitations, and as usual, it depends on what you're searching for in such a device. But one thing is sure, this is easy to use, easy to learn, and it totally fits into your shirt's pocket. So if you think this was an interesting YouTube video, please do the YouTube thing. You can also support this channel on Patreon or by becoming a channel member using the button under this video. I also run a Gumroad store for samples and patches, and I publish my music on Spotify, Apple Music, or you can download it on Bandcamp. But of course, none of this is mandatory. As usual, thanks for watching and see you again next week. Bye bye.